North Korean leader Kim Jong Un and Russian President Vladimir Putin have met for a rare summit on Wednesday. The two discussed military matters, the war in Ukraine and even possible Russian help for North Korea's satellite program. Now, Putin showed Kim around Russia's most advanced space rocket launch site in Russia's Far East after Kim arrived by train from North Korea. Kim asked numerous detailed questions about rockets as Putin showed him around Vostochny Cosmodrome. And when asked by Russian media if Russia would help Kim build these satellites, Putin said that's why we came here. Also, North Korea fired ballistic missiles into the Korean peninsula while the meeting was on. Here's more.
We have changed our interior and international policy. I would guess we are approaching the standards of North Korea. I can't evaluate that because I am not an expert in this area. But it's interesting. But Kim Jong Un, a very eccentric person, he draws attention. So maybe something good come out of this cooperation and partnership.
Of course it is interesting, a person coming here on an armored train. He'll communicate with us about something, learn something new. Sharing experience is great anyway, so I support this visit. To be honest, I don't expect any good out of it. I visited North Korea in 1992 as a sailor. We sailed from Vladivostok to North Korea. Things I saw there, they've had famine.
Well, we're watching this very, very closely. We'll see what the two sides say as a result of this. As I've said before, we continue to urge North Korea to meet its public commitments not to support Russia's war in Ukraine. No nation on the planet, nobody, should be helping Mr. Putin kill innocent Ukrainians. And if they decide to move forward with some sort of arms deal, well, obviously we'll take the measure of that, and we'll deal with it appropriately. As Jake Sullivan said last week, there will certainly be repercussions for North Korea, both from the United States and from the international community. As for what either side will get out of this, again, I think we have to watch and see what actually comes out of this discussion. Obviously have concerns about any burgeoning defense relationship between North Korea and Russia. Again, it remains to be seen what either side A wants out of this and B will get out of it. These are not two countries that work well with others, and they don't really have all that much trust and confidence in each other. So we'll have to see. But certainly any arrangement that would improve North Korea's military capabilities would be certainly would be of significant concern to us.
For Putin, the clear challenge that he's facing is the very direct concern about not having enough munitions for the battlefield. And with Kim, he has a partner who has the exact same type of stockpiles that he needs because of the unique Russia-North Korea relationship, and frankly, the Soviet-North Korea relationship. In the case of Kim, he's tried twice now with a space launch vehicle tests. They both failed at a critical last stage component. And so for their reference to what they need, a military satellite, this is something that there is a precedent. So in August of 2022, the Russians helped Iran put their Kayam satellite into orbit. Overall, the type of cooperation that they gave to each other is unique in international history. If you look at the North Korean nuclear weapons program right now, the original nuclear engineers were trained in Dubna near Moscow. So you see the type of Russian technical assistance and training. And for the older generation of North Korean leaders in the military, the party side, different strata of society, they were educated in Russia. They speak Russian. And so this cultural affinity aspect of it is something that we do have to factor into our analysis as well. So there is this type of mutual respect component that they're tapping into as well right now. But I think that scorecard is important in terms of what each side gets out of this. And it's really for domestic consumption and bolstering their regimes at home.
Even though an arms deal has not been officially announced by Russia or North Korea, it should be noted that Russian President Vladimir Putin has accepted an invitation from Kim Jong Un, this to visit North Korea after the two held their first meet in 4 years. And this is being touted as a rare summit, which the US believes focused on Pyongyang sending arms to help Moscow with its war in Ukraine. Now, the White House has raised concerns about North Korean leader Kim Jong Un and Russian President Vladimir Putin meeting for a rare summit in which, according to reports, they discuss military matters, the war in Ukraine and possible Russian help for the secretive Communist States satellite program. The White House National Security spokesman John Kirby has said at a briefing that US has concerns about any burgeoning defense relationship between North Korea and Russia, and Kim's propaganda apparatus has hailed this meeting, which was held at Russia's Vostochny Cosmodrome Space Center in the Amur region, which is the far east of Russia. The two discussed issues of mutual interest, peace and security in the region, and international justice as well. And at the end of the reception, Kim Jong Un courteously invited Vladimir Putin to visit North Korea at a convenient time. Remember, the war is still on, and Putin has accepted the invitation with pleasure and reaffirmed his will to invariably carry forward the history and tradition of the Russia-North Korea friendship. Also, Putin's spokesperson Dmitry Peskov has said that North Korean Foreign Minister Cho Son-hui might visit Moscow in October, while the US is also keeping a close eye on Russia and North Korea. And Russia's ambassador Anatoly Anatov has made a statement that the United States has no right to lecture US on how to live.